water, gas on the first floor. Available, replacing engine 264. 4710-4. The box is 485, address is 319 First Avenue. That's between East 20th Street and East 19th Street for alarm activation on the first floor. The headphone on the box is 485, address is 319 First Avenue. That's at East 18th Street and East 19th Street for alarm activation on the first floor. 0945 hours, dispatcher 426.
No, I think it's going to taper off later on. Yeah, that part is going to melt before anything else. I would hope so. Yeah, it's a lot of ice. Yeah, it's a lot of ice.
Traffic waves. 947K. 1278, would you drop dash 118? We were still waiting for call. What's that for? 18, box 1278, 18, box 1278. Where's the battalion 47? 1949 hours, dispatch 43.
All right, you guys. Sorry for the delay. So glad you're with me, tuning in to DMV Commuter, and we're broadcasting right now. And as you can see, we have a very, very good coating of snow, and we expected it, so it is now here, and so we're just inviting you to enjoy the day and just watch the scenery, which is and we hope that it's a long-lasting one, because you don't, when you get snow, you expect your kids, if you have kids, to actually go out and have fun, play around, and throw snowballs, and this is just one of those seasons where you tend to appreciate, considering everything that's been going on right now in here in the United States. We tend to want to take a break from the chaos and enjoy a nice snowy, wintry mix. I mean, you can't have no better than this. Nice cup of coffee, sit back, and just enjoy the moment of peace. And just watch the snow as it comes down, man. This is what I call tranquility in action, And you can't have it no better than this. So again, this is your DMV Commuter 2025, celebrating the new year. And if you're watching right now, hopefully you're like and subscribe. Like and hit that subscribe button. And just leave a comment, And for most of you guys, I'm a new streamer, and I'm doing my best, man, to get acquainted with YouTube and everything, learning about how to set up live streams, how to create videos, how to examine the analytical part of it, and being able to see what people actually what they really want to see from content creators like myself. So I'm a newbie here. So if you're watching the stream, just leave me a comment. Maybe even give me some advice, and maybe what I can do that will make my live streams go better. I would definitely appreciate it. Again, this is DMV Commuter 2025. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I didn't think about that too much, Janet. It's just been like, we've been going through, switching locations, getting a new apartment, buying all the supplies, trying to make sure that everything's in order. You know what I mean? It's and you know, you're right. You're right. Apartment units is really getting very high. I mean, if you're not prepared financially to relocate from one apartment to the next, and you're going to be stuck. Yeah, so you got to be prepared. You got to do whatever you can to make sure that you can cover all the bills, everything that's necessary for moving in, deposits, whatever they might be. Hey Tony, what's going on, man? Yeah, yeah. Congratulations to the Washington Commanders, man. No doubt. I watched the whole game and was completely. I was really excited. I really was. I had. It's been a long time since Washington has played the way they have played, and being able to win the games that they've been winning. You haven't seen this much excitement in Washington D.C. in a long time. And so I'm glad for Washington Commanders, and I'm hoping that they can win at least one of these playoff games. I don't care about. I mean, just win one playoff game, and I'm satisfied with that. Yeah, and I know we were supposed to go to New York and do the New Year's Eve bash, and not realizing that we didn't. We were eligible to get the press credentials that we were looking for, and apparently we couldn't. That didn't happen. So, but again, a couple of friends of ours went, and they filmed the New Year's Eve celebration in New York, and actually we were watching from a remote location in Delaware, and they had a pretty good shot. Unfortunately, they couldn't get any of the coverage in front or near any of the stages where the performers were taking place. But they had a good location, and their streams came out pretty good. Mickey from Norfolk, Virginia, how you doing? And that's right. I haven't been down to Norfolk in a while, no doubt. I haven't seen it. I know my mother was originally from Norfolk, Virginia, and I know that's a nice place. Um, and I would hope one day I could go to Norfolk, no doubt. Yeah, right now I'm sort of trying to establish this live stream on YouTube, and along with Twitch, and as well as Facebook. And I'm just right now I'm just doing my best trying to have something to work with. It's sort of difficult, but you do you work with what you got, and this is a learning experience for me, so it allows me to really dive deep into the types of equipment I might need. Microphones, cameras, whatever. Yeah, it just again, for me, this is going back to school, and learning how to film, learning how to be a content creator. Something I've never done before, so I'm taking it as, and I guess this is the perfect way to go about doing it because there's snowing outside. So, this is a perfect opportunity, man, to just create something out of nothing, basically. I think that for me, the lighting is probably more important. Even though what you're seeing now is pretty much outside of the norm. Yeah, images are outside, but I mean, I need to create for something that's inside. So that's going to require me some lighting, so a backdrop maybe. Again, all that's it's in the works. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, definitely. Someone told me about OBS Studios, and I was thinking about, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's free, and that's what I was thinking about. You're using that, and I haven't even downloaded it yet. But I'm just, again, I'm reading up on how to use it, and what is, its pros and cons of, anything free for me is gonna be welcome. I'm not, I don't have time to pay for a lot of stuff. Anything free for me is gonna be welcome. I'm not, I don't have time to pay for a lot of stuff. No way. I never thought about that. Again, you, so talking about college football, you should have known. I should have known, first of all, that Oregon wasn't going to win that game. I mean, again, granted, Ohio State is really good, when it comes to the Big Ten, and Oregon just really not too long ago they just joined the Big Ten. So they're kind of getting there, they're feeling themselves out at this point against teams like Ohio State. Nebraska's been there like 10 years now. They've been in the Big Ten. Maryland, yeah, exactly. Those teams are I don't want to say they're struggling, but they're learning how to adapt to the Big Ten. And again, I love me some Maryland Terrapins. I think they're one of for this neck of the woods. They're probably the best team running right now, and that's pretty cool. And I'm hoping like crazy, that they now in basketball, they need to get themselves right on. Yeah, they need to do some work. Again, we're talking about the Big Ten. The Big Ten is very competitive, very competitive. I mean, listen, my favorite Big Ten school is Wisconsin. I love the Wisconsin Badgers, especially when they come to football. The problem is that they're really struggling now. They're really struggling, and so anytime you play against teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Northwestern, you know what I mean? I mean, come on. I mean, those teams present a lot of a whole mixture of competitiveness when it comes to football. I mean, exactly. And again, now in on the basketball level, Wisconsin has been in their own division has been pretty dominant. But again, when you're playing teams like Iowa State, you're facing an uphill battle. I mean, yeah. Northwestern, on the other hand, in basketball hasn't really produced much. But Michigan and Michigan State, on the other hand, are definitely you're gonna run into a whole heap of problems with them. And again, but hey, this is Wisconsin. This is the Big Ten Conference. It's always going to be competitive. I think one of the most probably best competitive level collegiate sports you're going to find in probably any collegiate division. I don't care whether it be the ACC or we're talking about conferences, right? Whether it be the ACC, whether it be the Big East, the Southeast Conference. The Big Ten is very competitive all across the board. All across the board. So, Wisconsin definitely, they have some competition, but it'll work. It'll work for them. It'll work for them. I can tell you one team that exactly is really not going to make too much of a fight, and that's the Miami Hurricanes. And I'm talking about, don't get me wrong, last year Miami did pretty well last year in NCAA basketball. They did very well, no doubt. Florida State. I mean, these teams really, teams that are that come out of Florida, baseball rather. Now baseball, they really kind of put the brakes on a lot of teams. We're talking about one particular state, and we're talking about one particular sport, and that's baseball. Outside of that, then Florida tends to have a little bit more trouble. Exactly. I mean, really, it happens, but it's collegiate sports. You can't, these guys are trying to make it to a bigger league where they can actually get paid to take part in the sport that they love. So kudos to them. But you got some other teams out there that really makes in terms of football. You got Alabama. Alabama's been on with Nick Saban. Listen, they've been on top of the food chain for a long time. exactly. And they've been taking on all challengers. So it's only listen. You're bound to fall sooner or later. You can't stay on top forever, right? So now is the Georgia Bulldogs taking over the top spot and making themselves heard. They've already won what, 2 national titles. I tell you the truth, I would rather have seen Clemson, in that mix. But they've had their opportunity and their chances. So now it's time for someone else to take over that spot. The ACC has been pretty dominant when it came to NCAA football. But Georgia now has taken that spot and they're making themselves known. And man, you got guys that's coming out of that university going to the NFL, and they're making a name for themselves. So I wish them all good luck. So I'm going to give this live stream another 15 minutes, and we'll see what's going to happen. I'm hoping. Again, this is a test stream of DMV COMMUTER 2025. So if you're watching, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I like to kind of interact with you guys. So, but yeah, man, this is like I'm a content creator, and I'm hoping that I will get some. Yeah. Give me a chance to learn what's going on, and this is a test stream for me. So hopefully I can interact with some people, make some new friends. So if you're there, leave a comment. Let me know that you're watching. That would really help me out in my channel. Give me a like, and leave me some comments and kind of give me some advice. Let me know what I can do better, man, to make my content stand out. Funny, I just seen the Metropolitan Police Department van go by. Surprisingly, yeah, they're definitely out. Funny, I just seen the Metropolitan Police Department van go by. Surprisingly, yeah, they're definitely out. Oh yeah, there's been some stuff going on in the last 48 hours. It's like, man, listen, at one time, I used to, man, listen, let me tell you one thing. This is crazy. So like, I think everybody has heard a lot about, New York has heard a lot about the incident that happened on the train with a guy who has set this woman on fire on the F train. Yeah, the Brooklyn bound F train. And when I heard about that, I could not believe what had just happened. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? This is sad. This is a sad event that someone has to take another person's life by doing what they did. And I'm like, wow. So there's been a lot of chatter going around about whether or not this person should get the death penalty, whether this person should be deported back to his country. The fact that your New York City is dealing with the problem of immigration, illegal immigration, and they deal with it in a way in which people are coming into this country illegally. They're in New York now illegally, and they're committing crimes. It says a lot about what it's. It says a lot about what New York is planning and how they're able to combat those types of crimes. I mean, really, this comes out of a horror movie, if you think about it. These types of crimes, you only hear about them from the lens of a serial killer. only serial killers commit those kind of crimes, right? And it's crazy. This guy, he just, in one act of horror, he took a woman's life. And you only hear about serial killers doing this kind of stuff. This level of arson to kill another human being by setting him on fire. I mean, it's crazy. That's crazy. That is really horrific. And and it wasn't just he set this woman on fire. It was the woman who actually tried to save herself from these flames. When she literally got up and walked, she walked to one of the exits of the train, and she just didn't have enough, to save herself from the flames. So she literally stood there. Now she's attached to the one of the safety poles inside the train, and she stands there engulfed in flames, and she burns. And this guy who did it is sitting outside of the train on the platform, sitting in the chair, watching this woman. And at one point, if you saw the video, you see, he goes over there he's fanning the flames. I mean, that's engulfing her right now. He's literally got a piece of paper or something. He's like this fanning the flames. It's like, wow, this guy is psychotic. In fact, beyond psychotic. He created this, not created, but he committed this crime, and now he's really enjoying the moment. I mean, how do you do that? And so, this is crazy. Now, if you're going to blame the mayor of New York for allowing these illegal immigrants into the city of New York, you can do that, no problem. It's like, in fact, a lot of people are blaming him for the crime that's being committed by illegal immigrants. But this type of crime, it just really sets off the whole mood of New York City. I mean, again, that's really bad. And now you got people committing even more crimes. It's like New York City has become like Los Angeles now. You can just, like Gavin Newsom doesn't care. He's letting people commit crimes. He doesn't want to lock people up. So New York City is becoming like that now. But the worst crimes that are being committed by illegal immigrants are being done in places like Aurora, Colorado, New York City, places in Texas. It's how long is this going to continue? I mean, even here in Washington D.C., we're seeing crimes committed by illegal immigrants who have no idea whatsoever. And it's crazy. I mean, it's like, how much money are you going to invest to continue to lock illegal immigrants up for committing crimes, right? I mean, for every illegal immigrant you put behind bars, you have to pay for that individual's stay. You're paying for that bed. Taxpayers now are paying for that bed, are paying for those meals that this illegal immigrant is receiving while in prison, paying for the clothes that he's wearing. Taxpayers are paying for all this. So remember, this being an illegal immigrant, how much money are taxpayers willing to invest to keep an illegal immigrant who committed a crime in your city or your state behind bars? Really, that's the question. Are you, as a taxpayer, are you willing to invest your money to keep this guy behind bars? Or would you rather see this individual taken out, sent back to his country, deported? I mean, back to his country of origin. I mean, again, this is an issue that a lot of Republicans are facing right now. Donald Trump comes in and he says, hey, I'm president again, and I'm going to fix the broken immigration system. How I'm going to do it? Start deportation. How he does it is another issue. So now he has a border czar who's making promises, strong promises, that he's going to fix the problem of immigration. He can't, honestly, the way he's expressing it, he can't wait. He can't wait to get the job, to start doing it. He's negotiating with states and localities in which the problem exists, and he's got buses lined up already. He's got airplanes ready right now to receive these illegal immigrants and have them deported back to wherever they came from. Close the border. I mean, he's promised to make that happen. How he does it is a totally different story. So again, stay tuned for that episode because you just don't know how it's going to happen. But you know, it's right now. Something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. So like I said, going back to earlier what I said about the individual who committed that crime in New York. Again, you could pay, and I think in one sense, it didn't matter what the crime was. He needed to commit a crime in order to stay in the United States. In the back of his mind, that's his mindset. That's what he's thinking. This is his strategy to, you know, in his mind, he's thinking this will keep me in the United States. I don't care what kind of, I need to do something, commit an illegal crime. And as a result, they're going to lock me up. They're going to send me to prison. I'll have a place to stay. I won't have to go back to my country of origin. You know, so, I mean, again, if this is what most illegal immigrants is thinking, that this is what's going to keep them here in the United States, you know, yeah, back chance. That's not going to happen. At least I hope it doesn't. But that's a funny way to do it. It really is. That's a really funny way to do it. That's crazy. Why would someone commit a crime just to stay here in the United States? I mean, it's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. You're willing to put other people's lives in danger just to stay here in the United States. Is that fair? That's crazy. I mean, that's really, your mind, your thinking must be so warped that, and there's some illegal immigrants that they're adamant about this. They do not care. They don't care. The crime wave is getting ready to go further and further and further, and it's really these are dangerous times here in America. And again, I don't want to put a political face on this, but man, listen, something has to be done. We can't continue to allow crimes like this to be committed, and then with the thinking that because you'll be able to stay in the United States as a result of committing these crimes. I mean, at some point we got to put our foot down. This is illegal and it must stop. But we're not gonna we know what you're thinking, so we're not gonna just have you go through our court system just to have a judge sentence you to prison for a certain period of time, because that only helps you out. That helps you out who committed the crime. No, we're not doing that. We're sending you back to your country of origin, or we're gonna send you somewhere, but you're leaving the United States. I mean, I agree with the border czar. I agree with the Trump's team on developing a plan on stopping illegal immigration, stopping the crime wave, send them back to their country of origin. I mean, again, something has to happen. I can't see people, hardworking people, with that, who are taxpayers, and having to pay for this. Pay for these people who commit crimes in this country to go to prison and eat, get 3 hots in the cot, knowing that you're paying for it as a taxpayer. I mean, their problem is solved now. Listen, let me commit a crime, I'll go to prison, my problem is solved. I can stay in the United States on taxpayers' expense. That's a shame. Really, that's bad. So we're just waiting. We're waiting, and to see, that the Trump campaign is going to, they're in the development stage. So hopefully they will come up with something. This Bible in the marketplace. When it comes to this issue, they have to. They're still making an effort to the idea must be promoted, and hopefully you will have some takers who will sign on to make this happen. And right now he's creating a team, a cabinet team that's who's making this issue a solvable issue. Not making it a problem. You're taking the problem, you're making it a solvable issue. I mean, this is something the Democrats didn't want to do at first. Biden was not interested in solving this problem. I think that's the reason why he kept the borders open, and that the federal authorities, ICE, the Immigration Service could not, and it's not that they could not. I think they had their hands tied from the beginning. It's like how does a Democratic, yeah, you have Democratic leadership in Congress, along with the president, who's Democratic. How do you allow a team of Democrats to basically create a problem like this of immigration and to keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it until eventually it's going to get too big and it's going to be too much and it's going to explode. And the problem is going to be widespread. It's going to be a mess. And it's exactly that was their thinking then. It's their thinking right now. And we're feeling the effects of it. We're feeling the effects of it. We're seeing it right now before our eyes. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, we're seeing the Republicans are standing up. They're noticing the problem. They're speaking out against it, and they're working to do something about it. Again, like I said, this is one point of that I really think Donald Trump has hit home with. And I think this is what resonated with a lot of the voters. I think this is the biggest reason why he got elected again as president, because the Democratic Party refused to change its position on illegal immigration. I mean, again, you're letting people in this country, and you're giving them a free pass to do whatever they want. I mean, when this first happened, you went down to Eagle Pass, Texas. You saw people literally lined up at the border where the gates were, where the border wall was. Literally, they were waiting for those gates to open, and they were allowed to go in to cross the border into the United States. I saw it so many times; it was crazy. And I sat there and I was like, are they actually allowing illegal immigrants to go in? It's like they were letting them in, 25 at a time? Every time the border wall gates open, they were letting in people. And then you saw van after van after van load coming up and dropping off more illegal immigrants. You literally saw people crossing the border, a riverbed, to scale up a wall. They had to scale up a wall just to get to the higher platform where you could see the border gates, And they just, once they did that, they just fell right in line with everyone else. I mean, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then, like I said, every 4 hours they would open those gates and let 25, 50 people in at a time. They process them, they get them ready, they put them back on the van, and they send them to the nearest, non-government organization that they can find, like Catholic Charities. They were taking them. Catholic Charities was, no doubt, I believe it. I believe they were getting funding, government funding, for hotels, for other incentives. And it's all documented. I mean, all documented. They were literally taking them and processing them and allowing them to give them temporary shelters. And eventually what happened, they would be placed on Greyhound buses or whatever buses they could, and with vouchers, traveling vouchers. And they would be sending these people all across the United States. Well, even here in Washington, D.C., we literally had we had people being dropped off at our Amtrak station, Union Station's Amtrak, right in the front entrance. They were being dropped off, and let out here in the District of Columbia. and you know, again, you had NGOs waiting. They were waiting there to pick these people up and take them to their wherever they're going to take them, providing them. You know, again, with government funding, allow these people to get clothing, to get food. They was getting debit cards, food stamps, whatever you know they were eligible to get, even housing. You know, and it's crazy. And these people are illegals. They're not coming in or coming into the United States the correct way. You know, they're coming in under a democratic policy. They're coming in and they're getting multiple assistance from different agencies to stay here. They're given jobs. They're allowed to go to school, their children. They're allowed to get health care. And it's all done under a democratic set of policies that allows this to happen. And so, I mean, we are facing some heavy decisions in the new year. This is 2025. This is a new year. And so we're finding ourselves in a difficult situation in which now we have to solve a problem that's been ongoing for the past 2 years. We've been seeing this happen. So now we have to come up with a solution. And like again, Trump says that he's going to solve this problem, that he has a plan. And so let's see what happens. I mean, we have the inauguration coming up. We have Kamala Harris now is going to certify the election. She's going to certify the votes, and we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I mean, we have a new party in office who's going to be taking over the White House, and so we can only hope that this problem of the illegal immigration takes a turn back to the south of the border. That's where we want to send it. We want to send it, back to the border. And we want to make sure that they cross the border back into where they came from. I mean, we need this to happen. It has to happen. Because right now, it's again, and then we have some other issues or problems that are coming up. It's actually already here. They're not coming up, they're already here. So we're facing and I don't want to say it's food shortages, but we're facing the high cost of food is going up. Certain items of food are just increasing in prices. We're facing issues where food is being what you normally get, your regular stuff, is now being replaced with generic items, and just try to lower the cost. And that's no problem with that. But it's generic. It's something you don't normally go buy. You know, companies are replacing. Like for example, this is crazy. So you're going and you're buying your favorite canned goods, whatever it might be, right? And that you're finding new labels are popping up on some of these items, and they're as a result of the new companies that are coming online. And I don't think the companies are new. The manufacturers who exactly of these food products, they're not new. Exactly, they're not new at all. They're just again creating a new. And the food is the product is not new. If it's spaghetti and meatballs, exactly. If it's canned meatballs, it's still going to be canned meatballs. It's just that, exactly the label is going to be different. But the same company that make your premium brand is now making a generic brand of those meatballs, and so they're right now beginning to charge people the same. Those prices are going to go up. They're increasing those prices of the generic products. So it's crazy. Like, look, you go to I went to the supermarket a couple of days ago, and I wanted to buy some box of lasagna. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like And man, I was like, wow. And this is eating cereal. Let me start with that. The cereal. So my normal cereal, man, you buying like Fruit Loops, you're buying like whatever. But anyway, it's like Kellogg's. So now what happens, you're buying a different brand of Fruit Loops. And now they're going, no doubt, I think they call multi-meal or something like that. Anyway, it's a different brand. And I think the same company, I think the Kellogg's actually owns that brand of Fruit Loops as well. And so, yeah, man, they're raising the prices on it. And so I'm coming out of the pocket with maybe 13% more. Have to come out of my pocket to pay for that, just that item, and it's crazy. Milk is is trying to stay stable in their price, but eventually, yeah, they're gonna raise prices on the milk, even powdered milk. I mean, it's crazy, but we're facing some difficult times, man, in this country, with food prices, and then again, we call it inflation. We understand it, yeah. Democrats tell you that the gas prices are going to down, but actually no, the gas prices are going to go up. They've been going up. They just don't. Democrats just not giving you the full story. They're only giving you a portion of the story, And so yeah, so if you have a car, good luck to you, because yeah, those gas prices are definitely gonna. If they're not going up now, they will be going up. Believe me. So hopefully, again, we could find some way where we could decrease that problem. Inflation needs. I mean, again, we just listen. They just recently they kept that government running. Throughout New Year's. Yeah, with the new deal they put in place, and if it was left up to the Democrats, they would have. Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump said that they didn't reach a deal on it, but they would shut down the government. I mean, it was the only way that they could actually stop the progression of the Democratic policies from taking place. Well, luckily the government didn't shut down. But again, we're still faced with these problems going into the 2025 year. So again, how are we gonna lower our inflation? How are we gonna bring back products that are premium products that we're so used to buying, and stop paying for these outrageous generic products that are just, and paying more for them than we are for the premium stuff. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's so many issues that's going on. I don't know how all this is going to end, but it's got to end soon. And so we can only hope that that something happens and the Trump administration does its job. So with that, I'm getting ready to end this live stream. So if you were watching, I mean, again, leave me a comment. Let me know that you were watching, and that would definitely help me out. And so again, this is a test stream of DMV COMMUTER 2025. So, but again, if you were watching, I'm glad that hopefully you enjoyed the conversation, and. So yeah, man, leave me a comment, give me a like, and again, if you're gonna give me a comment, give me some advice on how what I can do better. That would help me out. So with that, I'm going to end this live stream right now, and so we'll stay tuned for the next episode of DMV COMMUTER 2025.